Hi, thanks for joining me today. It's Patty from PS Paper Crafts, and I want to show you how to make this card. It's kind of a Thanksgiving or fall card. It says grateful. I'm using the Cork paper and some designer series paper, and it's just a kind of a simple card. I'm using the Sparkle of the Season bundle, so I'm using the stamp set and then the dies that go with it. I think they're Seasonal Swirl Dies. But I want to show you why I made this card. Every month I'm part of a group called the Simple Sweet Stampers, and every month we create a bundle, and the bundle has a PDF with 12 projects, 12 different demonstrators who've made them based on this bundle or based on the suite. So this month we're doing the Harvest Meadow Suite, and if you go through it, there's pictures. So the people, you'll see pictures. That's me with our website. So they're really very talented demonstrators. And then we have picture measurements, instructions, and we just go through and you'll have 12 of these projects based on the suite. And let me just explain to you, the suite goes from one suite to the next suite. So we can use any of the projects or any of the products until we get to the next suite. So I use this one as well as the paper here. And then we get to the next suite. This is quite a ways. So we're allowed to use anything. Actually, this is the end of the book. So this was the last one. I know somebody used this one as well. So anyway, it's great, and you can get this for free if you order from my my online store. And you can go to pspapercrafts.com to get to my online store. You'll get the instructions for this. You can also click on my tutorials at the top and just purchase it if you don't want to purchase from me, if you're a demonstrator and you want to get your own discount. But if you purchase anything from me during the month of September, I will send you an online PDF with the 12 projects for free. And it's any amount that you order from me. So we're going to skip right to my project. And while I was making this, I realized that I have the cherry cobbler. This is Calypso Coral. This must have been from last month and I copied it wrong. So I apologize for that. You can go to my blog and I'll have the correct instructions. I can't change this at this point. So we're going to put this up there and we will start. I have my pieces cut. So again, it's a Calypso Coral and I'm using Very Vanilla, and I'm using this Cork paper. Let me just show you this. You get 2 sheets, and I really wasn't sure what it was going to be like, but I like it. It's very thin and easy to use. The back is just plain, but it's very thin. It's got some texture to it. I mean, you can feel that there's, you know, some bumps and stuff, but it's not, I thought it was going to be cork. It's a great paper to use. I've used it on a couple of projects, and then I've also used the Harvest Meadow Designer Series paper. So that's where I cut my pumpkin and my leaves. So I just ran them through, and what was nice was the dies. You get 2 sets of leaves. So I ran the pumpkin and 2 sets of leaves through the orange, and then I ran the leaves. So these are the leaves, and I just ran them through like this on the green, and it doesn't matter about the writing because you're not going to really see it. And then I also did the yellow. So I have some that I put this way so the embossing was good, and some that I put this way. So we did that, and then I used this die, and I actually cut from a piece of cork to create this. Now you can use this larger, and I think there was another project where she used the larger die that actually has the leaves, but I kind of wanted it to be small so I had enough of the cork showing through. So I actually cut this out of a piece of the cork just to coordinate it. So those are all my pieces and what I did and all that good stuff. So let's get started. Not a lot of stamping, just the word grateful. But I have these just on this piece of scrap cardstock so that I can see them. So even before we stamp, let's get our wreath together. So I'm going to put it on my silicone mat. I can't talk today. And I'll use some liquid glue. And some of these stars you'll see are sticking out, and I may snip them. I'm going to just try to see where I want things, and then I may snip them. So I'm going to start with the star at the bottom and put some glue just on here. If I put it on the pumpkin, I won't really know where to put it. So I'm just going to put it on here, and that's why I'm using my silicone mat, so I can, it won't stick to it. So I can lift it up when I'm done. So let's get the pumpkin in place, and then I will just put the leaves on. And you can use the putty end of this, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of lay out my leaves, see where I want them. I'm going to try to alternate colors. See, this is where maybe I want to cut that star off. And we'll do a green. There's different leaves too, different looks. And let me see, I think I'm going to go like this. I think I'll just put them down. So I'm going to just put a little glue on each leaf and stick it down, and then I can fill them in as I go. And this will take a little bit of time. And that's okay, just take your time with it. Maybe the putty's not the way to go. I always go back and forth if you've seen me struggle with this. And I think I'm actually going to pick this up. Let me just put this down. I think I'm going to snip that leaf off. So I think I will snip some of these little, not the leaves, the stars, just to get them out of the way. Now, if you wanted to avoid some of this craziness, you can use the bigger wreath. But now I wouldn't cut this one because it's not sticking off. And you can use that for gluing. I think I'm just going to snip before we get started all of these. Okay, so now we can get gluing. All right, so I think I had put some glue on this. Just put a little more on. And I'm just going to speed this up as I put the leaves down. So that one I have. Okay, so I want to fill in some of the areas that I have glue on my fingers, and that's why I'm struggling. I'm sure this happens to you guys as well, but I think I want to just fill in where I have some open areas. And you could put on as many leaves as you want, or as few as you want. I'm going to let it set for a minute because I really want it to dry well. So let me just, I could pick it up with my finger. I don't need the putty because I have glue on my finger. How's that? And they can overlap, make it full. Trying to decide where I want more. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to put this aside so it dries, and I don't have any problems with it. Whoops. This goes on here, and this goes on here. Okay, and then we want to do our stamping, and I'm using Calypso Coral, and I'm using the stamp from the stamp set. So there's all different seasons. There's Thank You, Halloween, Christmas, Grateful. This is a great set, and I have it mounted already. Normally I would put the wreath on first, so we'll see how this goes, so I know where I want this, but I'm winging it. And then I want to do the inside, and the inside I just put some leaves on the top and the bottom corner. So let's do that while we're waiting for that to dry up a little bit. So I have the soft succulent. And actually, let me get a piece of scrap paper, because I'll go off a little bit. And I think on this card, I stamped off first, but I think on the one I'm making right now, I'm going to go direct. So I have, whoops. I don't know what's going on today. So I have that. Do you ever have one of those days where your mind is not where it should be? Let's see. As I continue, I think I'm going to do 1, 2, and I'll do the same thing here. 1, 2, and then we'll do the bumblebee. So these are the colors in the paper. Actually, it says on the paper package that it's Cajun Craze, but it's actually Calypso Coral. See, I'm not the only one that makes mistakes. And we'll do this small one in the bumblebee. Just to give it some color there. So you can do stamping off like I did on my sample, or you can do it direct on. So let's see how this is going. I just want to go underneath it and pick it up. Yeah, so I think I put a lot of glue on. What would really be nice is if I had cut it with the adhesive backing, the adhesive strips in the back. I probably don't even need to put much glue on, but I'll put a little bit. Where you cut the leaves with the adhesive on the back and then they just stick, or maybe even glue dots would work. I just figured I could move them around and maneuver them a little bit better with the liquid glue. So let's see if we can get this on. Pretty, right? Okay, and then what we did was we used some of this diamond weave ribbon and put it around these layers. So let's put this layer down first. We'll use some Stampin' Seal for this. And just put it down so there's a tiny border around it. Then we can get our ribbon and cut it with our scissors. So I just try to cut it a little bit bigger than the piece, and then we'll wrap it around the back. So use some Scotch tape and just pull it around the back and adhere it. And I think this ribbon is so pretty. It reminds me of macrame. I'll just put one piece, make sure it's straight, and put another piece back here. Okay, then we can put this down right on the card base. And this gives it a nice, kind of a bigger border, which sometimes I like the narrow borders, sometimes I like the big borders. And then we can put this down with dimensionals. Let me get some dimensionals out. Very easy card. I think it's fun to cut things out of designer series paper like the leaves. It gives it a little bit more interest than just using cardstock. Let's put one more on. Okay, so we can lay this down. Very nice. And then we just have to put this in the middle, or in the inside. See, my mind is not with my mouth here. So again, you can get the PDF for all of the different projects if you order from my online store. And if you have any questions, you can email me at patty@pspapercrafts.com, and I would certainly get back to you. All right, thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye.